Now all these issues, these small things, there are many different ways of writing the same function, and there's usually one that is the simplest or perhaps the most stylistically acceptable. You know, when do I leave brackets in? When can I take them out? When can I use a lambda expression, or when can I use partial application? And there's a tool that helps you with this thing. It's a learning tool called hlint, and it's part of the Haskell platform. You can install it separately as a standalone command line tool. I've got it integrated with the tests. You can integrate it with your editor in various editors, and it will certainly work with Visual Studio if you turn it on. And we turn it on with our checking for the later labs. So the later labs we automatically check with hlint, and it will give you suggestions. Hlint, the terminology comes from a well-known checking tool called lint. Now lint is quite a serious tool by comparison. This is more of a pedagogical tool. So hlint is not really a heavyweight production tool. It's just mainly for Haskell learners to get things right stylistically. So I'm running it here within my editor, and here's some of the things that it will flag up for you. So here I define sum, and it's recognizing that actually I could have used fold for this, also for and in fact even the fold function that I defined, it's saying, hey, why didn't you use fold, which is quite amusing, but indeed correct. Now, we talked a little bit about partial application and eta reduction in the previous short video, and in fact it will also spot those. So for example, unlines can be defined in terms of fold R, but we don't need to mention the parameter of the function, because we can build unlines by composing fold R with 2 of its 3 arguments, an example of partial application. And there are more examples of this kind that it will find for us. For example, take line, we could have defined without mentioning the final redundant parameter. And indeed, redundant brackets will also be removed, such as the ones I just introduced for illustration that were in the type. It'll also suggest removing brackets from expressions as well. And so it's a certainly, you know, it's not the only way to do things, but it tries to give you hints about what's the sort of typical Haskell-y way to do these things. We suggest you run your lab submissions through these systems to tidy them up a little bit, but don't do anything that you don't understand. Only fix the things that you understand. It doesn't fix things for you. The idea is that you only take the things that you actually really understand. They're not errors, they're just warnings.